I'll be introducing our speaker who is going to come and shed a lot of light to the topic of today. Her name is Deborah Apochi. She is the international trade specialist. She's a trade influencer, an agribusiness facilitator that has had over 35 years experience in trading and training. So this is a treat for you. 35 years of experience as the founder of SOW Limited, a leading agri-processing and exporting company in Nigeria. She offers quality services and products in line with international best practices. And she also exports premium spices such as ginger, turmeric, and garlic, making them her company a preferred export partner for overseas buyers. She empowers individuals and organizations to internationalize their businesses with simplicity and practicability. With over 3,000 social media followers, Deborah teaches Nigerians how to start export businesses, help unemployed youth improve their standard of living. She is a certified member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, and she also holds various certifications from the International Trade Center, including expertise in export marketing strategy, supply chain standard, and geographical indications. She has created a women-focused crowdfunding group for international trade and collaborates with associations and foreign trade investors to explore business opportunities in Nigeria with a gender-inclusive approach. She's known for her leadership, her diligence, and a welcoming personality. Deborah continues to inspire and support success in international trade. So ladies and gentlemen, with a virtual clap in our chat box, let's give a warm welcome and an extremely warm welcome to our trainer for today, Ms. Deborah. Please over to you, Ma, and we are looking to learn and grow from your wealth of experience. Thank you.
Hi everyone, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. I can hear you, but it seems to be quite distant.
Our network can be so fantastic here.
Okay, it's much better.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, very well.
So if you can hear me, let me see a heart on the comment section. I like a very vibrant class. Let me get
Hello, Mr. Deborah, you muted again.
awesome. It was from your setting. Keep telling me the host don't want me to be unmuted, so remain on mute. So I'm now the host. Hi. Oh, I can see the emojis. Beautiful. Hi, I'm so happy to be here. My name is Deborah Apochi, the CEO of Shield of Women Limited. When she was doing the introduction at the point, I thought it was not me because, I mean, even me too, I was expecting to see like about 75 years old woman. If they say somebody have 35 years experience, right? You don't expect to come and see this small girl with a very rumpled hair, right? Okay, it's me. I like to do the introduction properly. I was born into, my mom was a commodity trader, right? For typical of wars that are in Africa, if you know all those African women that used to hold their children or babies at the back of the truck. Some would go to buy cassava, some would go to buy tomatoes. You see most of these women breastfeeding at the back of the truck, right? that has been my story. Yeah, so my mom was a commodity trader. I started my trading business right from when I've existed. So it's not far-fetched when you see 35 years experience and I'm still small. So I'm just trying to give you the reason why I'm still this small and I have a whole lot of experience to my name. So my mom was a commodity trader. Typically, she would go to the interland and get commodities. In Nigeria, we call it alibo cassava chips. So she will go and get alibo, maize, and she will bring it home and she will store it. As a baby then, I think I wasn't even sure I was even up to 5 years then. So she would just ask us to count 270 days. We don't know why we were counting actually, but we'll just count 270 days. And when it's 270 days, we just come and say, Mama, 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 it's 270 days. And lo and behold, Mama will bring the product from where she hid it, and poof, the price is already like times 3, times 4, times 5. Little did I know that she was doing storage. Fast track to me now. I start putting meanings to most of the things that she was doing then. Like, oh, okay, because most of the African farming system, we still feed on rain-fed agriculture. So once it's March, April, May, you see most of the farmers just start farming. It means just one thing, that everybody is going to be harvesting simultaneously. And what this will do is there will be a glut in the market. So you have excess food and price will be so cheap. So my mother's local knowledge, she will mop this product from the market. And after 270 days, the product will go out of, I don't want to use extinction, but there will be no product. And Mama will bring this product out and she'll start selling it at a very, very good rate. Okay, so this is my background. Don't be surprised when I start giving you all this. So when you see, permit me to remove this spec. I like getting practical. When I start giving you all those village, and the funniest thing about Africa is most of the things that are similar in Nigeria is similar to my people in Zimbabwe, even to the ginger farmers that I'm operating with in Tanzania, most of the African countries. Okay, so in today's class, I like to take you through some journey on how the process and procedures of export market, how to choose your products, because these are some of the mistakes that you find that are most of the SMEs they make. You go through the journey without even having a clue of the product and the market mix. After spending a whole lot of money, investing your time, your energy, going to trade show after 4 years, you just suddenly discover that this product is not even worth it, or is a bad fit for the market. So the essence of this class today is to give you a holistic view about exports. Then from there, we'll move to how to practically choose a product and a market that will pay any amount for that product. So I pray that time will do justice to us. By the end of this class, just like how I used to do with all my students, I like to give you, I call it a lifetime gift, because seeing any of my students at every point in time, I feel like it's an opportunity that we are privileged and we may not be privileged to have that class again. So I like to drop something that when you're using, you say, oh, just this small tool is free, but it's so impactful on my business, right? So I don't know, can you make me a host so that I can share my screen? Okay, yes.
Yes, you can share your screen and post.
Thank you so much. So we quickly fast track from the introduction because I think I've done a little bit, and the host have done a detailed introduction of me because time is not on our side. So we'll quickly run through the objective of today's training. By the end of today's training, we should be able to have specific information about some of the export potential from Africa, covering areas of export classification and export process. We should be able to know the procedure, types of export, major export from Nigeria. When I say Nigeria, I'll try to give like 2 or 3 African countries. Just like I said, that most of the African countries have some things, have some similarities, even though we have some peculiar issues from different African countries, but we still have some similarity. We should be able to know the benefit of export trade products, product and market knowledge challenge. We should be able to identify export potential from Nigeria. I use Nigeria as a case study, but when I give you the 2, you can actually substitute. If you are from Zimbabwe, you substitute Nigeria and put Zimbabwe. Or if you are from Tanzania, you put Tanzania in the 2 that I'm going to be showing to you. So the first topic is on the classification of exporter. I believe most of us here, we have a goal, we have a mission, we have what we want to achieve, irrespective of the product or service that we are dealing with. But whichever thing that you are trading or dealing with, you come under a certain classification when it comes to exports. So you can either be a commodity or a export vendor, or you can be an export agent, or you can either be export merchant, export manufacturer, or an export consultant. So by the end of today's class, you should be able to analyze your strength and your weakness. Then you can now come up and say, oh, I think with the kind of strength I have, I don't really think I need to do product. In fact, I don't even need to even export. I think I can actually consult, or I can actually be an export agent. So what are the difference between these 5 underlisted categories? For commodity exports or export vendor, typically you are a producer that is offering a product, right? You're a producer or a supplier that is offering a product. So you can be a groundnut farmer or a groundnut supplier. So you are typically exporting. It can even be a local trade, but it means it's coming from you. You are the originator, right? So just look at it this way: a farmer selling products, exporting to international market, or a supplier exporting product to international market. So typically this is within the raw products. We call it produce. Note that there is a difference between produce and a product. A product is when additional value have been added to it. So we are talking about produce here. So you typically just carry commodity, you just aggregate commodity and you export. The second one is the export agent. As an export agent, just like you have an import agent, you are a mediator between the buyer and the seller. You typically don't have a product. You just bring 2 people together. You act as an exchanger, a mediator. You bring the buyers and sellers together. Okay, just getting your own percentage. Just look at it this way, like you having an import agent, where the import agent will go check the goods for you, make sure that the goods is okay. The same thing with export agent. So it takes care of all the documentation in the case where he's acting on your behalf. So he connects the buyers and the seller and just gets a commission, depending on what you people agree. The next is the export merchant. An export merchant is somebody who just trades. You don't necessarily have, you don't necessarily need to be in possession of that product. So you just trade, you are a merchant. You pick product from anywhere. So we are in this class, you have people from Zimbabwe, you have people from Nigeria, you have people from Malawi, you have people from South Africa. So let me assume I have formed a huge network with using this platform as an example. I pick a lovely product from John, who is selling coconut oil in Malawi, and I'll export it to another person that needs it in Gambia. So I'm just a merchant. I pick from somebody that is producing and I sell it. I can even buy from Alibaba and export it to the United States. I'm just a merchant. So I just trade. I pick from here, sell from here, pick from a supplier, sell to the other person. The next one is the export manufacturer, which is a little bit more tedious, more profitable, and very, very stressful. You are the producer, manufacturer, and the exporter. The chain is so long. So you manufacture the product. Let's say you are manufacturing, let me use myself as an example. I produce spices, dehydrated ginger. So I go through all the whole stress of washing, cleaning, drying, getting my HACCP certification, getting my NAFDAC, getting my FDA. And then I go through another chain of getting customers, going to trade show, exporting, following the logistics and everything. So it's very stressful, but it means I take the profit from the manufacturer point of view down to the export point of view. Then the last but not the least is the export consultant, which is what I'm doing currently. So by the time you have mastered the skill of exportation, you typically will want to offer your consultation service to organizations or people that want to go into the business for a fee. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just to correct the introduction, it's not 3,000 followers, it's 300,000 followers. So when you go to my YouTube channel, you see Deborah Apochi, Miss Deborah Apochi is my YouTube channel. You see people asking, oh, when is your next class? When is your next class? Can I pay you for a consultation service? I want one-on-one class and all that. And typically it's people in Africa that have jackpot. If you are not in Nigeria, maybe after this class, ask me the meaning of jackpot. It's people that have left the shores of this country and all of a sudden they just discover that, oh, money doesn't grow in the street of New York. And they just go to Google and type, how do I export from my country? Trust me, the first 3 videos you will see my video there. And they'll say, oh, can I pick your brain on something? I say, no, you can't pick my brain. It's not for free. My brain comes with some charges, right? So at that point, that is consultation. Okay, so with all this, you cannot begin to think, with the strength I have, where can I really, really function? Which one will bring the best part of me? Is it consultation? Is it manufacturing? Is it as in just export merchant or export agent or commodity export? So I want you to look at this holistically so that you don't do what A is doing just because we want to go into export. We must look at things that aligns with our mission and our vision. So process and procedures of starting exports. Before I go through this, let me not assume, what do we think is export? On the comment section, or probably maybe we can raise our hand up so that it can be very fast. What do we think? What is export in the first place? I'd like to test us on this so that I don't assume too much. What is export? I'll pick the first 3 hands up.
So we have Olaso Komi. So you can unmute, then Tayo and Jonathan. So those are the first 3.
Awesome.
So you can speak, please.
In your hands, what is...
All right, thanks so much, Ma. In my own time, I think export is a process of processing and packaging your product, considering the standard and the regulations of the other country, and then taking the product to other countries for them to purchase and enjoy the products you have. I think that's just an export in my own understanding. Thank you, man.
Thank you. I'm looking for something punchy.
Okay, so Tayo can unmute and share.
Okay, thank you. So for me, exports are the goods, that are actually sold in the foreign markets.
Thank you so much. Very simple, fair enough. The third person.
So I think the third person already dropped off his hand, so I can't locate him anymore.
Okay, I think I saw something on the chat. got my attention. Exportation is the exchange of goods and service outside the shore of foreign exchange. About the same thing the last speaker said. Good, all of you, you are right. So I like to make it very simple. If you're in Nigeria, you are getting, I usually use ginger. You are getting ginger from Kaduna and you are moving it to Kano to sell. It is called, okay, you are getting ginger from Kaduna and you are still selling to another company in Kaduna. It is called intra trading, intra, within that locality, within that locality, intra. Then when you are moving it from Kaduna, say to Lagos, you have some company like Ace Food, Tiger Food in Abia. Is it Abia? When you're moving it from Kaduna to those companies, it is called inter. It's moving from one state to another, inter. Then when you move it from, say, Lagos, just shift a little and enter just, what's the closest state to Lagos now? Cotonou. You've exported. You've exported. So you've crossed the border. It's a cross-border trade. It's as simple as that. So when you go to Kano and Katsina, you see most people exporting with bike. For those of you that have gone to that, our border that is by that Katsina side, you know that it's very funny. Where you see one rope, they use rope and tie it. So by the time you just shift the rope and just use your bicycle, even if it's bag of rice and you enter, you've exported. You don't need any big grammar. You've exported. You cross from Nigeria to Niger. You've exported. So export is actually cross-border trade, taking it from your country to another country, be it goods, be it service. Some people is not physical goods. Davido music is everywhere. That is actually exporting and earning dollars. Zenith is doing an amazing job in the service industry. It's actually exportation. So it's not necessary that it must be goods. It can also be services, right? Thank you. So I needed to be sure that we all have this foundation in exports before jumping, just so that I'm not talking to myself. So I'll go back to sharing of my screen and we go straight to the process and procedures of starting export business. So you want to set up and register a limited liability company in Nigeria. Same thing with other African countries. But specifically in Nigeria, you cannot register a business name. If you have questions, you can note it. We'll discuss that after the class. You cannot register a business name from the very scratch if you want to go into exportation, because the Nigeria Export and Promotion Council made it mandatory that for you to go into export business, it must be a limited liability company. And before you can open a bank account, and because you have exports under the description of your business, you need to get SCUMO, anti-laundry certificate, to make sure that you are not going to be taking our resources without bringing back the money. Okay, so to start, you must have a limited liability company. Then you want to register the company with the Nigeria Export and Promotion Council. Every country have their own. We have the Ghana Export and Promotion Council. You can check your country. Every single country have an organization that is in charge of the promotion of exports. So for Nigeria, you want to register with the Export and Promotion Council. This is the only organization that I think, in fact, I know that they are not even acting as government agency. You can actually take your phone and register online without knowing anybody. I think the fee is about 13,450 naira. All you just need to do is to be sure that you have a registered company and put the document that you'll be requested to upload. Then you want to choose your selected market. So you choose and select your preferred export product, and you want to export against the intended markets. Let me explain. We call it product market fit. You choose a product and you choose a market that you want to merge that product to. So there are some products that are not fit for some certain kind of market. For example, you may want to do ginger, may want to do garlic. I usually use spice as an example because that is where I specialize. So you may want to do ginger or garlic or pepper, and you say, oh, I think there is a huge market of ginger, pepper, turmeric in the United States, right? But you have not checked that that product is not fit for the United States because of the regulation concerning some of all those fresh produce. The United States don't allow some of those fresh produce from Nigeria, African country to the United States. So if you have not studied this, you won't know. You probably will go and set up a farm, set up a warehouse, employ staffs, only for you to discover that you cannot send anything that is live seed or livestock to the United States. It has to be either dried, grounded, and all that. For example, you can't send ordinary pepper, ginger, turmeric to the United States. You must ground it first because they don't want you to bring it to the country and start planting it. So it is when you are doing this research to choose the product against the market that you are picking, that is when you will study all this and know, no, this market is not fit. No, this market is not fit. For example, you are producing the toilet seat and your handle is at the left or at the right. Then you are choosing maybe a Turkey market where maybe it is halal to use maybe your right hand to wash your bum like that. So some of all those intricacies, you must really choose your product, then merge it with the exact market that your product is right for and will pay you any amount just to get your product. Your product may just be a saving grace in some market that irrespective of the price you are calling, because they desperately need it, they will pay. Just like Nigerian charcoal. I'm using this example not because I promote exportation of charcoal. Charcoal is off my league. I am for green, sustainable agriculture. So I am totally against the exportation of charcoal. But I'm just saying that places like Saudi Arabia or some very cold place where is exporting charcoal today is not just a business. You are actually saving their life. So they will pay any amount. So this is how I want you to look your product, not like they are doing you a favor. I want you to see yourself as part of the chain. It's just like you saying you're exporting cocoa, maybe as a raw commodity to a chocolate manufacturing company. You see yourself as, what will happen if I don't supply these people? That company will go off. So you are that important. Imagine a rubber company, a Dunlop company without rubber. Maybe you are the sole supplier of that rubber. Without you, that Dunlop company will go off, right? So you need to choose a good product and a market that match that product. The next is for you to source for an export order from an intended buyer. This is self-explanatory. Then send product sample to your buyers if requested and got approved for quality spec. The next is discuss terms of payment and terms of delivery. This is very important, and this is where I see most SMEs fumble, right? You have to be very clear as to the terms of delivery. If not, cash flow, you will run out of cash flow, and before you know, you packed out of business. So you want to look at the quality check through regulatory bodies. We have SGS. SGS is everywhere, both Africa and in North Americans and even in the European countries. So you want to use SGS to test quality, but this have to be clearly discussed with you and your buyers because it comes at a fee. Very expensive, I must say. So you want to look at then you start preparing your shipment, making it ready for export, then prepare and assemble all necessary documents because this can actually make your product to be rejected by custom, right? Then documents such as bill of lading, commercial invoice, certificate of origin, you want to make all this, you want to plan for all this. Then your export is not complete until you have received payments and credited into your domiciliary account. So even in Nigeria, they will give you 90 days for you to call back that fund. That is why you must register SCUMO so that they will know how they will send the FCC and follow you to know if you have used that money to go and buy houses and all that abroad, right? So just like I said, you mustn't export only products. It can be services. So people export commodities. Some can be manufactured goods. For example, if you are doing people that do gari is a manufactured goods, yeah. So it's not you taking it from the original form. So you can't call gari a produce. It's a product, manufactured goods in various products such as agricultural products. You can even look at solid mineral. You can look at pharmaceutical. You can look at petrol and chemicals, handcraft, home decor, right? Then you can look at intangible goods and services like invisible exports, which does not involve the transfer of goods and tangible objects, especially in most of this African country that logistics is really, really a problem. So you can actually look at services, selling one's personal skills and knowledge. I have a friend, I won't want to use her name here. She usually will pick university graduates from Nigeria and teach them how to serve companies abroad, like customer care, graphic design, accounting. That is export. They pay them on a monthly basis in dollars. That is export, right? Music is export. Movies is export. Sport, logistics, transportation, financial services, like what Zenith is doing, like I said, is export, okay? One key problem that we've noticed is most of the African countries, we focus more on primary commodities. And that is not where the real bulk of money is. Okay, so the primary commodity are still dominant in Nigeria and most African countries in our non-oil export. Okay, so the country is currently exporting downward the value chain instead of upward value chain. So what we are typically saying is most of our export is still at the produce stage. Little values. You see most people exporting just raw cocoa, raw beans, raw ginger, raw, little value. Then at the end of this class, we should be able to discuss why and how we can go about it. Okay, so these are some of the major exports from Nigeria, and we share the same thing with some African country. For example, cocoa, Nigeria and Cote d'Ivoire, right? I know Cote d'Ivoire is among the leading exporter of cocoa. Ghana too is the same thing for cocoa. We have sesame seed. So this is the thing. You see, they're exporting cocoa, exporting sesame seed, exporting cotton, gum arabic, cashew. Let me make you cry. I don't want to make you cry, but let me make you cry. Maybe it will make us to think deep. You get sometimes ago, I think when I was entering export, I don't know the current price of cashew now. Then cashew was about $1,500 per ton. The Vietnam, because our government did not invest in processing, the Vietnam government saw a huge market in this because the biggest market of cashew is the United States. But here's the problem. United States, they don't buy cashew in its raw form. The cashew we have is called, now I'm mistaken, is it cashew kernel, cashew nut? Cashew nut. Cashew nut is different from cashew kernel. Cashew kernel is the one that is like granite, right? That the back have been removed. Then the cashew nut is the one that is like, is it lemon green? Gray, where the water is still there that as a child, we used to use it to draw mark on our face, right? So the United States, they want the nuts. They don't want the whole cashew because labor is expensive in the United States. So they want somebody to take up the shelf and just give them only the cashew because it's a healthy nut. Because we can't do that, the Vietnams will come here, buy it at the rate of 1,500, remove the nuts, sell it at the rate of 7,500 in the United States, 6,575. Then use the water, sell it at the rate of $5,000 for people that are doing bleaching agent for cosmetic industry. Then use the chaff, which is the shell, and sell it to Germany for people that are doing brake pad oil. At the end, the total money they are making is about $15,000 for something they bought for 1,500, and we were shouting, oh! And we are so happy. So it was so painful, but then I can only focus on my industry. So it's just for those of you that are going into cashier. I'm just giving you the whole picture of the whole value chain. So most African countries, we are still like that. See, exporting granules, palm oil, soya, like that, gum arabic, raw like that. The question is, what can we do to actually add value and get the bulk of the money? Or is it that it's a crime for us to get the bulk of the money? So I've explained this. I say you can either look at the agricultural sector, the solid mineral, or you can go into export with service like Nollywood films, the ICT, and the financial sectors. So why do we really export? To some, is to earn foreign exchange. I don't think it's to some, to everybody, to me that I'm sitting here. If there's no foreign exchange, I don't think my motivation will be this gingered. So is to earn foreign exchange, one, increase sales and profit volume, because you typically get more value for your products from exporting than selling locally. Locally, my friend will say, "Na see finish," right? So you have other people selling the same thing. I mean, if you're not selling the same thing, they'll just simply leave you and just move to the other person. But when you're selling to a market that desperately need it, they don't have it, you can actually call the shot, right? So to enhance domestic competitiveness is to also access global technology. So if you check my LinkedIn, the post I made yesterday, I'm like, oh, the ginger sector in Nigeria is having problem. How do you think we can change this? Blah 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 blah. And people are reaching out and say, Debbie, you know what? I think your government should go for seed for ginger tissue culturing, after which they cannot give it to farmers at a subsidized rate, right? And I'm like, okay, please, can you refer me to a company that is proven and tested? And I got some couple of companies that they actually recommended. So this is innovation, technology. You access global technology that may not be accessible or available in your home country, right? It can also help you to gain global market share. So if the global market share of ginger is 2 billion, you can say, okay, I target to get 1%, 2%, just to get the global market, the gain of global market share. To spread that market risk arising from fluctuation and demand glut. So for example, like I said, we still depend very heavily on rain-fed agriculture, which means by November, everybody is harvesting. Imagine everybody is harvesting, everybody is selling the same thing. There's going to be a glut in the market here. So what you just want to do is just to shift and move to another market that they don't have the same product. So for example, if we have excess beans here and they don't have it in Malawi, I can just carry the beans and move to Malawi and leave them here, let them. Or maybe you are selling in Benin and there is war there and you have another market in the US. Okay, just to spread out your risk, not to put all your eggs in one basket. Contribute to national GDP. So when you are exporting, you bring more effects into the country. So you find out that most African countries, because we do more of importing than exporting, so it means we are exporting poverty and we are importing poverty and exporting our jobs. But when you do more of exporting, it means you create more jobs and you increase the GDP of that country. So it also reduces dependency on existing markets. So imagine everybody, all your entrepreneurs selling in this market. It's gonna be so choked, right? So it reduces that dependency. So there are some of our export checklists. You want to think of before you even think of exporting, you want to check the importer's profile and company status. Okay, not just that somebody reach out to you and say, I want one container of cocoa, and you just start sending it. It's not cheap. To export a cocoa is like almost close to $500 million. I think now it has reduced because this is the harvest period. So almost close to $500 million. If you don't do your check, imagine your neighbor that probably changed his phone number and want to scam you and just say, hey, I need cocoa, bring it to so place, we'll pay you. And by the time you get there, so you need to do some check, profile check. Okay, this company, what's their credit history? What's their credit worthiness? This company is operating in social countries. What's the political atmosphere? How is the crisis there? Is it something that every two days you have crisis? What are the local laws, importation regulation? Can I import fresh thing? Must it be grounded? Must I put it in the bag? If it has any taste of pork meat, it will be rejected. For example, UK, EU generally, if there's any trace of allergens, all those products that have allergen, it will be rejected outrightly. So let's say I'm exporting ginger. Maybe somebody close to my farm is farming soya beans. And by the time I pack my ginger, they now find some soya beans inside my ginger. That one is straight rejection. So you have to look at that country. That's why it's not good to take so many markets, so that you can neck deep, you can really study hard what will cause rejection, what will it amount to if I want to give the best of this market. So you need to look at the local laws and importation regulation, transport document, terms of payment, foreign exchange regulation, and all that. So typically, this is how the export procedure look like. You start with your export planning, you get your export contract sourcing, you get your product sourcing. From there, you look at the transportation of goods to where you want to exit. In Nigeria is Apapa, or you want to use Onel. Many people don't use Onel because it's really usually very scanty. Then you take it from there to the pre-export documentation. From there, you go to your warehouse inspection where the SGS will do the inspection, but it's not a must. But if your buyers insist, they would, of course, they will take over the cost of that inspection. Then you look at the truck container booking from shipping line. Then you move to loading and sealing of the container. Once it's sealed, it cannot be open anymore. Then you transport container to the seaport. Then from there, custom inspection and shipment. Then your post-export documentation. Mind you, this post-export documentation and pre-documentation, you have to do it very well to avoid rejection. And if it's properly done, you can even use it to claim some export grants from the Nigeria Export and Promotion Council. After your export is done, then the next thing you move to export forwarders, documentation, documents. Then you move the document to the bank. From there, you move to export bank, forward document to import bank. That is if you are doing on documentary exchange. Then from there, you move to importers bank, transfer fund to exporter bank, which is your bank. Then from there, the exporter bank credit exporter's account. That is your domiciliary account. That is only when you know that your export is complete. So typically, this is the normal export listing in most of the Nigerian market. The chili pepper, the ginger, this is how it comes in. Depend on your market. This one is going to Abu Dhabi. So that is why it's written in Arabic. So mind you, depend on your market. You cannot use kg in some market and use pounds. So in the US, for example, they measure in pounds. In Europe, they measure in kgs. So you need to know your market. That is why you don't target all markets. If you target a specific market, you know how to do the bargain, you know how to do the measurement, you know the certification. I see some people tell me, oh, Debbie, I've gotten FDA, I've gotten BRC, I've gotten, I'm like, you are killing yourself, because this certificate needs to be renewed every year. FDA is in the US, BRC is in the UK. Where are you targeting? I want to sell to Dubai. It's confusion, right? So you take at most 2 markets. If it's too plenty, want to finish your life, it should not be more than 3. Because when you start buying equipment to actually tailor your product to fit that market, you find out that those equipments are not cheap. Okay, so left for me, I will even just say 2 markets, just because of the things happening that you can't really predict. Maybe you have just 1 market and maybe something happens and you don't want to fall out of business. That is why I said, okay, have a plan B and plan C. But having too many to be like spreading yourself too wide and too thin. So for Nigeria, maybe by the end of this class, I'll share this document. These are basically when products are harvested in Nigeria. So you can see cocoa. The main crop is from October to December. So you see that they're harvesting cocoa now, so it's supposed to be cheap. Ginger is November, chili pepper. So this is just like a timetable that help my students to know, for those of them that want to store, when to buy cheap and when to sell high. And those of you that want to export, when to buy cheap and so that you can prepare it for export. So this is the pictorial look of the same thing that I just showed to you. Then you have the agricultural market value chain. Typically, you move from farmer to export market. You could see the cycle that as you go along the value chain, it gets bigger. So people at the upper side make more money. You see the farmer make the least of the money, right? So this is onion market in Nigeria, and I've explained that you need to look at the political climate and all of them. So these are some of the challenges we have in the non-oil export sector. So you have the supply side constraint, you have the lack of access to credit, especially for SMEs. In Nigeria right now, you want to collect money even from the bank is about 36%, because the CBN have increased their rate to 27%. So of course the banks are not getting it cheap, right? So we have the infrastructural deficiency and weak logistics to support supply chain. Nigeria export is dominated by primary commodity, and I said not just Nigeria, most African country is dominated by primary commodity. Then we have the unrecorded export, where I told you, you see the Niger border, that Katsina Aziz, even the one in Cotonou here, people just cross and just take goods, take rice with bicycle, take onions with bike. Those are not recorded. They are smuggling. I call it smuggling, just smuggle goods. So the unrecorded export trade is a big challenge. We have the ineffectiveness of the ETL, that is within the ECOWAS, is a problem. Sometimes it's even easier to move goods from here to the United States than to move within the ECOWAS. It's a really big problem. So poor standardization of product is also another problem. High production costs in most of the African countries. I was shouting that Nigeria is too much. I just got a quote from Tanzania today. I want to jump. I want to start thanking God for Nigeria. So the high production cost, well, I gave one statistic that day and people were shouting. The cost, do you know the cost of moving goods from Kafanchan to Lagos? Sometimes it's more expensive than moving goods from Lagos to China, the shipping cost. You move goods from Lagos to China at the point, the shipping cost was about $1,300. Then dollar was about, when we calculated it, whereas it was taking almost 2 million to move from Kafanchan to Lagos. Within Nigeria is more expensive. So it's the high cost of production here is something else. Lack of export culture to SMEs, and I'm happy what the food chain makers are doing, bringing this to your knowledge free of charge. Is something that usually it's always far from the reach of SMEs, except you have to pay heavily for it. So you have the lack of vital skills and demand for product information, labeling requirement, because just like I said, you're targeting too many markets. So it gets you confused. You don't even know what to put per time. So I should be able to share this document so that I really, really want us to move to the practical aspect of it. So these are all the challenges that we face in exports market. I like to say that the fact that you are in this class, it makes you an automatic ambassador. Whether you are in Nigeria, you are Malawi, Zimbabwe, you don't need your government to appoint you as an ambassador. You are an automatic ambassador. What you do or what you don't do will affect generation to come. For those of us that have the mindset that, oh, I'm just coming to learn this export, let me make quick money. Let me speak Nigerian language. I take God, beg you. It goes beyond that. Your actions or your inactions may either make or mar the next generation. I was not part of it when somebody mixed with the beans that they sent to Europe in Nigeria. I wasn't part of it, but I'm benefiting from it. I wasn't part of the person that sent rotten yam abroad, but I'm benefiting from it. Just to tell you that just one action from you will blacklist your country from the whole global map. So please, I want to beg you, my friends, my export colleague in the future, let's take this serious. This is not just a business. If you are doing this, just know that so many lives depend on you. Your country depends on you. And as we do that, I pray that we all exceed in our various fields. Thank you so much. We have come to the end of this lecture. I will just quickly take some few class, and if time permits us, we'll do the practicals, but if not, we probably will schedule another time for that practical. But that practical is really, really important. The essence of that practical is show you 3 things. 1, how to know the market of your products. Where exactly is the market so you don't do guesswork? 2, which products is your biggest strength in your company, in your country? For example, as a Nigerian, I will never go and be doing coconut oil because from that tool, I will know that Nigeria, we don't have strength in coconut. It is Ghanaians. Then the number 3 is to know all the tariff that each countries will be charging you for the product that you'll be expecting. And 4thly, the country that will pay you the highest amount for that product that your country have that export potential. Thank you so much. So I will just pause here and take some few questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. I can see a lot of claps. Please, let's say a very big thank you to our facilitator. We can, a lot of comments. Like I can't even go through all of them. Thank you so much, Ma. Very helpful. Like I don't even need to ask the question about how was the session. The comments have said it all. Thank you so much. So we'll be giving an opportunity for questions. Please just raise your hand. Use the hand emoji to raise your hand, or you can drop your question in the chat box and we'll pick it. And I'm very certain that Deborah would do justice to them. Okay, I can see one person already. Alabi, you can go ahead and ask your question, please. Hello, Alabi. You can unmute and ask your question.
I really appreciate good evening. I really appreciate our lecturer for our wonderful lecture given so far. I just want to ask, I'm a beekeeper and I want to venture into exporting honey bee. How can I do that? How can I source for the market? Thanks.
Thank you so much. I think at this point, I'll quickly share that too. That should solve most of the question I'm seeing on the comment section. Maybe that would be like a time management for us. Okay. Permit me to share that too. At your convenience, just check it out. It's free. Don't be scared. just play with it. Tweak it anyhow. This is my Christmas gift to you. Play with it anyhow. For the person, the young man that asked for honeybee, anything, any product at all, play with it, and you should be able to come up with a very good market fit. So let me quickly share.
Question. Okay.
Able to answer most of these questions I'm seeing here.
Okay, so while you're sharing it, I can see a question about if you offer consulting services, which I am certain you do, but it would be good they hear it from the horse's mouth. And if yes, can they get access to you?
Okay. Yeah, we do consultation services for organizations and companies that want to venture into export. So by the end of this class, if it's okay by the host, I will leave my details. But for now, I have some key questions that I feel like I won't do justice to this if I don't answer it. Okay, so can you all see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes, so you just go to Google and type ITC tools. Then you will see this logo here from the International Trade Center. Click on it. It's free, don't worry. Most people will tell me, is it free? It's free. So on this hamburger here, this drop-down menu, you click here, you see tools. On these tools, this is what I want you to focus on. The first one is trade map. The second one is market access map. The third one is export potential. I would have loved to take all of them, but time will not permit. I will take these first three, very vital for any exporter. It's something that you will use, even if you become a professional exporter, you will use it daily. When I say daily, it's something that it becomes your next to your skin. So let's start with the export potential map. So this is the export potential map. When you get here, towards the ending, you see spot export opportunities for, then you now see search a product or country. So for example, which country are we going to use? Of course, we use Nigeria. So let me use Nigeria. Nigeria. So for those of you in other countries, feel free to put your country. If you're in Cote d'Ivoire, put Cote d'Ivoire here. Zimbabwe, put Zimbabwe. Ethiopia, put Ethiopia. South Africa, put South Africa, right? So me, I'm putting Nigeria because I'm a Nigerian, right? Yeah. So from just this point, it will tell you the total. I think I'm back to number one. From just this point, it will tell you the total unrealized export potential in the whole Nigeria. Forget anything that the news is telling you or somebody is telling you about. One good thing that we don't have in Africa is we lack data, we lack information. This is the International Trade Center. Anything that you don't get here, forget it. Now, can we see what we have for Nigeria? It's showing that the unrealized export, what is another English for unrealized? Export that have not been realized, export that have not been executed, right? Is $3 billion, not naira, $billion. The total unrealized export for the exporter Nigeria stand at $3 billion. So for all of you that are exporters in Nigeria, you now start asking yourself, whoop, 3 billion, which products? Then which product is in high demand? Which product are they looking for? So you have two options. You want to check the product they are looking for, or you want to check the market that is rushing you people in Nigeria. For me, let me go for products. And this will help you in selecting your product. If you want to go into export market, instead of you to just ignorantly say, I think Nigeria, they say Nigeria have cocoa. I think Nigeria have ginger. And people are exporting granola. Don't think. This is the most effective, simple, cheap gift I'm giving to you. Don't think. Come here. Click on this explore product. Anything that you're thinking now, you can now put it here to test your hypothesis. In school, they'll say test your hypothesis if it's true, right? You can now put it here. So you can now see the percentage of all the things that makes up the 3 billion. Urea is 65%. Cocoa bean, not cocoa powder, not cocoa oil, not cocoa butter, 62%. Cashew nut, not cashew kernel, 33%. Sesame seed. So you see all these boxes, when you join all of them, it makes up 3 billion. So for me that I'm doing ginger, or for you that you are thinking, oh, my father have ginger, or my father have cocoa, let me check ginger market. I cannot come here, see Nigeria to the world. Now I have ginger. The major problem for exporter is, how do I get markets? Where do I sell my product? This person that is consulting will say, come and pay this money, pay. You are paying, and at the end, you are not getting anything. You go and register for most of all those sites that you pay $250, I be $150 on annual basis. They'll just be sending you, so person in Malaysia want 250 trailer. So at the end of that year, you will never, trust me, you will never do any business. They are just collecting your annual subscription. They'll say this one is global, waiting for Africa. This one is a waste. This one is simple, direct, and free. If you can concentrate and get this. So you come here and say, okay, I want ginger, right? Okay. So product, let me type ginger. Can you see here? So you type ginger. So see ginger has appeared here. You click on ginger. Right? So maybe for you that you're just starting, the best way you will want to do this, inside this percentage, if you look at the top here, you see analyze exports. It's better this way for you. Then you can see it. In the whole of Nigeria, the top things that people outside Nigeria, they want to eat Nigeria for, they like it. That is the Nigeria export potential. If you bring any amount to the collect, number one is urea. Number two, as you take it from 1, 2, 3 like this, till 25, you don't need anybody to tell you export market again. This is you coming, you are looking for products. From here, you know that, oh, urea is the number one. Then you start, we'll take another class, start asking you, based on your network, based on your sourcing capacity, can you get urea? Not because they say urea is number one, you enter. Number two is cocoa bean. Why am I doing ginger? Why did I go and pick urea, cashew? Because there are other things you still need to look at. See, ginger is number 11, right? Any product you choose, here is the thing now. When you click on the product, it will show you the export potential of that product. Ginger is $101 million. Now, it will also show you the country that is exporting ginger. It's not only you that is exporting ginger. Tanzania, they're exporting ginger. Ghana, they're exporting ginger. Then it will also show you the market that want to buy this, your ginger. You are the one looking for market, Abi. This is your key. Which market want to buy ginger? You click on this market. It will list the market for you. See all the market buying ginger. Before it used to be, number one used to be Netherlands and Arab. Now, today is Pakistan, United States. Number 3 is Germany. Number 4 is Netherlands. Like that, to the least market. The same thing. If your product is, which product can I use again? Somebody should help me. Okay, let's say we want to take, which product is common in Nigeria now? Let's say we want to take soya beans. See soya beans number 12. Or let me even take from up. See cashew nuts. See your market. When you click on the market, see the people buying cashew. You know, I remember when I was teaching you people, I told you that Vietnam will not allow our cashew to rest because Vietnam is making a lot of money from our cashew. You see that Vietnam is our number one market. From the time immemorial, right from our forefathers, it means we have not done anything. They are still the market. Like that. So this is how you look for your market. On another class, we should be able to dive deeper, but because we need to take other tools, please play with this. Just be playing with it. The more you are doing it, you keep seeing things that I've not taught you yet. It is very rich. It's very deep. I just feel like I need to touch all of them so that to open your eyes to see most of those things you are paying for is a scam. So you go to the market access map. The essence of this market access map, here is it. Say you have, if that map, you have already gotten the market that you want to export. For me, let's say my market now is, my exporting market is Netherlands. I'll just go to Netherlands, right? Because my export is in the European market. So I'll go to Netherlands. I'm sure after this, we will have very few questions so that we can close. I'll go to Netherlands. Where's Netherlands? Okay, I'll go to Netherlands. Destination country. What did I just do? Exporting country, destination country. Exporting country is Nigeria. Destination country, Netherlands. Netherlands. Then you just click on search. You see, I'm not paying anything. The only thing you need to do, you just register. International Trade Center have provided this for you free. I'm sure if it's your home country, the only thing I noticed as a weakness of this is some of our local food is not here. You cannot see Gary. You cannot see Banku. Okay, so I think it has loaded. No, it's still loading. The network is funny. Our network is not the best here. So at your own time, when you get to this market access app, once you put the market you want to export and your country, under here, it will show you exactly how the steps you need to follow, how your product must be packaged. For Netherlands, I would have shown you my own. They will tell you everything must be written in English. It must be the net kg must be this. I must get phytosanitary certificate for Nigeria. I must get certificate of origin. They will give you like a baby list of your checkpoints, all the things that you need to get ready for you to export from Nigeria to Netherlands. So if you have used your export potential and you have taken maybe Dubai, you come here and put Nigeria to Dubai. Or if you are from Cotonou, you put Cotonou to Dubai. If you are from Zimbabwe, you put Zimbabwe to Dubai. Okay? So the network is not loading there, just so that we move to other ones. Then the third one is the trade map. I love this one. I love this one. I will tell you why I love this. You can even get companies' contact direct number where you can send email. If you get lucky, they will reply to you. This is my best. So you put your products. I do ginger. So it will tell you the different type of ginger. I do ginger crush or no ground. Crush or ground, that's the powder. So I'm doing neither crush nor ground. So this is my ginger. The country, Netherlands. This thing is Netherlands. The backup market is Dubai. Right? So you have Netherlands. I think I'm not signing to this one. Let's see. I don't know if the host can help us. My network is, I don't know.
Okay, so let me go to the side from my end and see if it's
Okay.
much better from here.
Are you able to?
Yeah, so I'm trying to navigate the app.
Okay.
So let me share my screen so you can direct me.
Okay. Or maybe we may find it difficult because you need to first of all register.
Yes, I'm seeing that I can't see most of this thing on your screen that you have because it's telling me to log in and register.
I have to register. It's going to take a long process. Let me use my phone. I may have a better network with this other.
Okay.
But you can still keep trying. Let's just show them the trademark.
Okay. Okay, so seeing the Nigeria, I mean, when I say Africa and its connectivity issues, could we maybe have it recorded? The practical session could be recorded, or maybe we can have the run-through explanation, just like we explained the remaining two. I think they would be able to get a grasp of it because I can see as you're explaining, some persons are dropping their hands, meaning you are actually tackling the questions they intended to ask. Hello, Ms. Deborah. You seem to be muted. We can't hear you.
I said, if you can make me host with the other device, let me do the same thing as I answer the other one.
Okay.
Somebody said their hands might be paining them. That's why they got their hand down. It's so funny.
Okay, I think you're close now.
Awesome. So share. I pray this network is better. Okay, so I think the network is not allowing us, but I think I can just take them from what we have. So can you all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Good. So when you get to this hamburger, this hand drop, you see your tools. You have the market trade map, market access, export potential map. We have done export potential maps, market access map. I promise you, once you are doing it on your own, if you get a very good internet network, you will be amazed at the kind of things you will see there. Then the trade map, typically, oh good, it's up now. I guess it's not the network, maybe it's from their side. It's up now. You can see the interface have changed. So let me see. So what you will see is this. The first thing you will see here, you will see imports and you will see exports. So depending on what you are looking for, if the information you want to get, you want to look for imports, people that are importing your products. So which countries are importing your product? Which companies inside that country is importing your product? Is there a contact number to reach? Is there a website to reach? That way you are reaching your customer directly. There is no middleman, agent, or one subscription, or you are consulting from anybody. So let's say we are looking at imports now. You click on this import. Then, assuming me, I want to go in for ginger. As you are clicking it, the product will be appearing. So see everything that I have to do with ginger. So I will go for the ginger, neither crush nor ground. That's the one I deal with. Then the region, you may want to narrow it to the region or country. So I'll go for Netherlands. This is Netherlands. You will see what will come up now. After you click on Netherlands, see under here, you see trade indicators. You click on the trade indicators. Now, it's supposed to show, but as a newcomer, you have to register. But because I'm not a newcomer, I'll just only log in and put my login details. So let me put my login details. Even if I want to consult for you, this is the same thing. This is the same process I will use for you. So courtesy of Food Chain Maker, they're bringing it for you free. As simple as this look, I can't do this for you less than $2,500. There is no way. So you bring the ginger in. You bring the country in. Because you're coming for consultation, you want to know your market, right? You want to know how you find buyers. Those are the typical questions, right? Yeah. So you go, after you fill this, put trade indicator. Because you have logged in, it will pop out now. Now look at what you have here. Pay keen attention to this. List of supply markets for the product imported by Netherlands. Imagine me that is selling ginger. I'm looking for markets in Netherlands. So these are list of supply markets imported by Netherlands. It will give you the total, it will give you the HSCCP code, then it will now give you the total percentage. This is where the main thing comes in. These are the exporters. These are the whole countries that are exporting to Netherlands. Mind you, it's not only Nigeria that is exporting ginger to Netherlands. China is exporting, Brazil is exporting, Peru is exporting. Nigeria is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nigeria is number 8 market. The value imported in 2023, from there, you know if they are really buying from Nigeria. These are the values. These are the trade balance. Now, for you to be doing your market research, let's say you pick Netherlands, you pick Dubai, you pick another market. When you carry Netherlands, you analyze the market for Netherlands. Maybe you carry Netherlands, you find out that Nigeria is number 8. You say, okay. You now check the volume they are buying from Nigeria. You now look at Nigeria, 313. This is really small. That is you analyzing your market. You now go and check the distance between Nigeria and maybe the another country that you want to export. You check the average estimated apply tariff. Here's the thing. See this tariff. You see why most African countries don't like exporting to fellow African countries? Trust me, if I bring other African country here now, you see they are charging me as far as 30%. Egypt is about 26%. Ghana here is about 26%. Meanwhile, all those European countries, the tariff is 0. You see why I say until we stop playing lip service in this after, then we are not ready. See the tariff here is 0. Then another thing I like to consider is, I like to see the distance, because the more the distance, the more the freight rate you will pay. So I now check the average distance between partner country and all their importing country. So I'll check number 8, Nigeria to Netherlands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about 7,000, which is not bad. So by the time I do this research, I keep Netherlands one side. I'll go back. I'll go and carry UAE. UAE. This is me trying to get my best market now. Instead of me doing, I think they will like me. No, there's no thing. This is you doing research now. UAE. Maybe I should write United Arab Emirates. Yeah. So when you click on UAE, you click on trade indicator. You are trying, this is you trying to pick the best market. So now, let's see what we have on UAE. You see that Nigeria is the 3rd market. It means it's more important than the Netherlands. So if it's me now, I want to carry UAE, check the volume of transaction, 2,000 plus. That one is less than 500. I will now come to the average, the distance, 1, 2, 3, about 7,000, the same thing with the Netherlands. Then I'll now check the tariff, which is 5%. Netherlands is 0. I'll write it one side. I'll go and take another market. By the time I've analyzed 5 markets, I should be able to come up with my 2 best markets. Now, this is how you look for companies that I told you. When you check up here, you see graph, map, and companies, right? When you click on companies, this is what you will see. See, companies that are dealing, if ginger is inside coffee, or those that are using ginger inside curry powder, those that are using ginger inside food preparation. For me, I wanted people that are doing pure herbs and spices. So I've clicked pure herbs and spices. You can see that those people are already 30. They will give you the list here. Now, these are the companies here. I didn't pay anybody any subscription. These are the company. Look at all of them. They are United Arab Emirates. Some are in Dubai. Some are in Sharjah. These are their websites. And if I want to go deep, I'll click on the companies themselves. Look at what you get. See phone numbers. Can you see the phone number? Nothing stops you from reaching this phone number. This is their website. This is the contact person, Mr. Mamad. He's the Chief Executive Officer. You can either reach the company via their phone number, or you can go through their email, their website, and go read about what they are into. Then you just go to the contact me and take their email and shoot your best message. Trust me, by the time you have sent like 10 people email, you'll be shocked. The one that will find you very interesting. Maybe even them too, they are looking for how to get products from Nigeria. So you'll be shocked and say, oh, can we have a Zoom call? Can we have a team meet? Share me your email. What can you offer? From there, you take that conversation to another level. This is pure you reaching directly to the customers, not all those emails. The bad thing about those emails is you pay money to those people, they send 1,000 email to me, they send 1,000 email to another person, they share the email to everybody. By the time all of you start disturbing that customer, it is called spam. Those customers will block you because they are overwhelmed. So this is my gift from me to you, free of charge, because I know that somehow we'll meet in the future. Take your time, study this, get a very good network. By the time you are done with this, trust me, you don't need any consultation. You will be the one consulting for people. So with this few points of mine, I hope I've been able to answer, how do I get market? How do I know my product? How do I know the market to venture into? These have answered all your questions. Thank you so much, and I'll be happy to take the next questions.
Thank you so much, Ms. Deborah. Like, the comment section is on fire. A lot of persons are saying thank you, God bless you, because we know that there are a number of facilitators who would not be willing. This is like you giving us a deep dive into your trade secrets, and a lot of persons will not do that. So we do not take it for granted. There's like a lot of thank you, Maz. Thank you. We're already thinking Aisha will not bring you for another session because I don't think we had enough time. I can see Joshua is saying that this is his best 2024 gift ever. And I believe that what you've taken us through, if they utilize the resources, it is enough. It would have answered 90% of the questions we would have asked for today. So I don't know if we are able to take additional questions. Maybe we'll just take one or two and then we can call it a day. I'm very certain that you can reach out to Ms. Deborah because we can never exhaust questions that you can ask. So you can always reach out to her and she'll be readily available. And then don't forget you're consulting her. So by that time, you will definitely be paying money. So ensure you make your questions very brief, straight to the point. In fact, 30 seconds, ask your questions which you can answer because we've run out way beyond our the time allocated for today. So we'll start with Joshua. Your hands have been up. We'll start with you. Please unmute and ask your question, please.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Good evening, everyone. I want to appreciate the presenter. In fact, this is a thought-provoking session. As I said, just like the moderator actually said rightly, that this is the best gift ever that I've actually gotten this year. Thank you so much for that. God bless you. So I have a very quick question, but I will just do a little explanation, then I will ask my question. Of course, I'm in Abuja, I'm in Nigeria. Of course, we know what is actually going on in the country. We have Naira devaluation, and when the value of a Naira is being decreased relative to the foreign, currencies, it makes Nigeria product cheaper, right? For foreign buyers. And the purpose of Naira devaluation is just to make, for instance, all these agricultural, exports, to other countries to be more competitive, and more competitive, and also there will be an increase in demand from international market, right? And countries with stronger currencies can purchase Nigeria products at a lower price, which may actually boost export volumes. But then, however, there is a pressure on exporter profitability, because while devaluation of Naira may boost export demand, right? Farmers, processors, all the actors in the value chain rely on purchasing raw materials, goods with Naira, and this may actually increase the cost of living. Now, if their income from the exports, does not rise significantly enough to offset the inflationary effect of devaluation, of this Naira devaluation, of course, their overall profitability may decrease. So in that case, would you advise the actor in that value chain, either the farmer, the processor, to stop exporting, or what would you do? Because we know the effect of this Naira devaluation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a brilliant question. But it's difficult at this section to tell you if I will advise them or I won't advise them. When it comes to issues of Nigeria, so many things comes to play. Nigeria is the only country where your certificate in Harvard will look like a child's play. Just at the point where you think you are understanding the economy, the whole thing will take a swoop turn. So under normal circumstance, the devaluation of the Naira is typically supposed to make the product in the country more attractive to foreign buyers. Even though the farmers will spend more in terms of getting seedlings, getting input, fertilizer, hose, all the normal thing that you need to get in Naira. Ideally, by the time you are able to get all that, let me say, maybe you are getting all this and everything for 600,000 in Naira. By the time you are able to export, then coming back again, that's currency coming back again. When you are exchanging it, you are making huge Naira. Ideally, that is how it's supposed to be. But in Nigeria today, it's not so. So many things are fighting against you. When you thought, okay, let me just use the Naira and I've gotten everything, the next thing, you are getting farm thefts. This year, ginger, people that thought that they'll be making huge amount of money from ginger, people start going to their farm to steal ginger, because if you steal a bag, it's almost 400,000 to sell. So it's like stealing gold. Or the next thing, you see kidnappers blocking you from your farm during harvest. You can't harvest. So many things comes to play when it comes to Nigeria. So it is, I find it very difficult to say is a straight jacket, do this or don't do that. In times like that, you need to look at all the variables. Then you now take the ones that make the most economic sense. Is it to devaluate the Naira or to just float it? So it's very, very difficult to say this is what you advise the farmer, because Nigeria is a very, very, very difficult terrain. If you can do business in Nigeria, trust me, you can do business in any part of the world.
Okay, thank you. Would Ms. Sobechuku please ask your question as usual, make it brief and straight to the point. After that, it will be Ismail, and then we can call it a day. Hello, Sobechuku. Please, you can unmute and ask your question. Okay, Ismail, I think Sobechuku is not close to his device. Please go ahead and ask your question. Okay, sorry, Sobechuku, please go ahead.
Hello. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Ismail, we can hear you.
Okay, very well. I greet everybody. A very big thanks to AFC for organizing this, and we really appreciate the insightful session that the Mrs. Deborah has taken us through. It is very, very insightful. Now, she has touched so many aspects of exporting. The one thing that I want her to please take us through is there's this statement in Yoruba, they will say that is if you give clothes to a lazy person, you try to also dye it for him. What I'm just trying to say is the fright. It remains fright. Okay, good. You have gotten a customer, you have the goods, you have finalized things. What about freight? The cheapest and the most reliable, especially the most reliable from our own experience. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much, my dear friend. Issue of freight is not something you can discuss at export class because usually by the time you are ready to export, your freight forwarder will quote for you as at then. And every freight cost they gives you cannot exceed more than 30 days. So today, if you have cocoa to export or you have ginger to export, you would then reach out to your freight forwarder and say, CEO, I have goods to export. He will ask you when. Okay, I have goods to export in the next 2 weeks. They will not check. Even the freight forwarder cannot give you price today and the price will be the same way next week. They have to go to the shipping line. They will now quote and say, oh, from now till 25th of December, from here to Port of Netherlands, and each port have their cost. So that is why nobody can give you a blank jacket port and say 1,005 is the cheapest from Grimaldi. No, it's a lie. First of all, your freight forwarder will ask you, which port are you shipping to? Are you taking it to Dubai? Are you taking it to Cairo? Are you taking it to Amsterdam? Are you taking it to Germany? Then when you answer the port where you are taking it to exactly, then they will now ask you, when are you shipping? You will now say, I'm shipping before 25th of December. They will now ask you, is it a dry product or a wet product? When you answer this question based on your own question, your own answer for the goods you have. So you see, your answer will be different from Matthew in this group. Matthew will be different from Mercy. So it's on case-by-case basis. They will not check the shipping line. They will not tell you, there is no this thing that is available this time. The only one that is available is on the 26th. And the price is $2,500. You say, price was 1.5 3 days ago. You don't have control. So there's nobody that can tell you, this is the cheapest shipping line. This is the cheapest shipping line. This one, export don't work that way, sir. So by the time you are ready, what we can do, we can recommend good freight forwarders. Not this, I pass my neighbor freight forwarders that they will just lead you to desert and leave you there. Experienced freight forwarders that will get you the ideal cost, the ideal price, and they will help you maybe when you are not very good with documentation. I tell my students, I say, do not be scared. Because most students, they are so scared about, documentation in export is too much. I don't do any of my documentation. I just cross-check to make sure that they don't put something that is not correct. My freight forwarder do everything. The packing list, the pro forma invoice, every single thing. Because me personally, I don't like writing. And I'm not ashamed to say it. God can bless you, but he may not bless you with everything. I don't like it. But because it's my money, a container of ginger right now is about 220 million naira. So I cannot just close my eye and say, because I don't like writing, I allow the freight forwarder to do nonsense and they will reject it. So the only thing I do, every document, I'll bring it here and I will check if the freight forwarder spells my name well. Hope he did not spell Hobora. You remove the D and put Hobora and they say, who is Hobora? I will check my name, check the quantity of the product, check the port that I'm shipping it to, check my buyer's detail. Very important, check the amount that my buyer is supposed to pay me. Let's maybe, instead of putting $1,700, you go and put $170. Once I check that all the information is okay, I will allow him to continue like that. So at the end, it's not you that will do all the work. That's why we have freight forwarder. So when the time comes, when you are ready, you can now ask AFC and say, can you people recommend good freight forwarders to us? At that time, the price can be maybe $2,500. Maybe the price now is $1,300. So this is not a question that we can take now. When that time comes, we should be able to help you. Hope I've been able to answer your question.
Thank you so much, Ma. That was quite insightful. I think we'll call it a day. I know a lot of persons have questions and we can't exhaust them. So do well. You can reach out to Ms. Deborah. She would guide you. She would handhold you, but note that you are going to be paying a consultation fee this time. So thank you so much, Ma. Before we let you go, we have what we call a family picture. So I would ask everyone to turn their camera and give me your best smile and we'll take this picture. Use that as an evidence. Remember when you're reaching out to is the boy, I'll be like, I was in your session, ma. I learned this and this and this. I'm following up on regards to this. So hold this as your evidence. So I would ask my team members to help in taking the snapshots. And don't forget your best smile. I can see Ismail's video has been on since. Tunde, Musa, thank you so much. More people. And we would have the recording to this session available before the week runs out. So you can always rewatch anything you might have missed. You get it from there. And also our facilitator is dropping her contact details. So ensure you reach out to her. Like you have already seen the stuff she is made of. So do reach out to her and you know that your export journey is about to get more beautiful and stress-free and really effective. So now it's time for smile. So put on your best smile and we take the snapshots. I can't see your teeth. Amazing. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much, Ms. Deborah. Like, I know that this is a session people pay a lot of money to learn from, but you have come here and as you have said, you've given us at AFC, participants for today, our members, the best Christmas gift ever. Thank you so much for taking out your time to share from your wealth of experience and selflessly share, actually. We would always remember you for that and would always be grateful.